how do you know if you need to curb your fat intake or if you have a problem with the fat in your diet, since it's been shown that there's heart disease associated with high fat diets in obese people? Well, there's a common blood test that's done where the doctor will check what's called your HDL level, your LDL level, and your triglyceride level. You'll get a printout of HDL, LDL, and triglyceride. And sometimes you'll hear these words, good cholesterol, bad cholesterol, used. So what does all of this mean? Well, HDL stands for high density lipoprotein, and LDL is low density lipoprotein, and triglyceride is just the triglycerides levels in your body. Okay, as it turns out, HDL is associated with good cholesterol, and LDL is associated with bad cholesterol. So how can cholesterol be good or bad if it's all the same molecule? Well, what happens is in your body, you either eat these lipids in the form of triglycerides or cholesterol in your diet, or your body can also can make fatty acids, which can be packaged into triglycerides, and your body can make cholesterol. And so what happens is if you have a diet high in fat, you might have too much of this fat floating around your bloodstream, because once it goes into your stomach, then the fat is moved throughout your body and stored. And so to move the fat around the body, since lipids, triglycerides, and cholesterol are not water soluble, and your blood is basically a water solution, then there's a mechanism to move this the fat around your body, and it is packaged in the form of high density lipoprotein, low density lipoprotein, and chylomicrons. Also, triglycerides are mostly moved around packaged in something called a chylomicron, and very low density lipoproteins as well. Okay, so these are all the mechanisms for moving the various types of fat around your body. As it turns out, let me just show you a picture here of a lipoprotein. Let me see. That's a chylomicron. Where's my micro? Okay, this is a picture of a lipoprotein. What a lipoprotein is, it's a packet. It's a package. It's got proteins and it's got phospholipids, creating what's called a monolayer. And this is TG stands for triglyceride, and C stands for cholesterol ester. And this is just the cholesterol is also in this little membrane. So what it is your body has a mechanism of sort of making this little vesicle, which has a phospholipid monolayer, which protects the hydrophobic triglycerides and cholesterol, and it moves the triglycerides and cholesterol. If it's the triglycerides and cholesterol have been put together in your liver, then the lipoprotein will take the cholesterol and the triglycerides from the liver and move it around throughout your body so it can distribute the cholesterol and the lipids to cells, because some cells use the lipids, for energy. The triglycerides, that is, and the cholesterol for structural, integrity of new cell membranes that are being made. Fat is deposited around your body for various reasons, to protect your organs and, in your brain and various parts of your body, and also used for, food. So anyway, it's got to move around your body somehow. And since it can't dissolve in the blood, it's packaged in these little vesicles called lipoproteins. And these big lipoproteins that are on the surface of this vesicle serve as sort of chemical recognition devices, so that these lipoproteins will be deposited in different parts of the body. Well, the long and short of it is the low density lipoproteins have more fat in them. Fats are less dense than water, as you know, and so since the blood is mostly water, these vesicles are just separated based on their densities, and if there's more fat in them, then they're going to be less dense. And so those are the low density. As it turns out, the low density lipoproteins serve the function to carry the low density lipoproteins they're bigger than the high density lipoproteins. They have more fat and less protein, which makes them less dense. And let me move this back over here. The low density lipoproteins carry the cholesterol from the liver and throughout the body, wherever it's needed. Okay, and so let me see. Because they're bigger and they have more fat, they have a better chance of being oxidized and damaged, and so they don't make it to their destination, and they can get hung up on different plaque that's building up in your arteries. Okay, so the more of the low density lipoprotein that you have, the better chance you have of sort of clogging up your arteries, because it's going to start sticking to these little plaque deposits in your arteries. The reason why smoking is also a problem is because smoking introduces free radicals, which are very, reactive little molecules that have unpaired electrons that then can further damage the lipids and the lipoprotein and cause it to not be the lipoprotein to lose its good sensory mechanisms, and so it just gets hung up in your bloodstream. So it's just a bad series of events that cause the low density lipoproteins. Now they're necessary because you've got to get cholesterol moving around your body. It's just if your body produces too much cholesterol because genetically that's how you're made, or if you're consuming too much cholesterol, then this concentration of LDLs goes up and it can cause all kinds of problems. Now, so that's why the low density lipoprotein, because it carries cholesterol, it's called the bad cholesterol, because it's moving in the wrong direction in your body, basically. Okay, the HDL, the high density lipoproteins, they look similar to the picture I just showed you, but they're smaller, they're denser, they have some different kind of proteins on the surface for recognition purposes. And the high density, it's been shown, it moves the cholesterol in your bloodstream back to the liver to be metabolized further, to be turned into bile, to be turned into other messenger molecules, and so it serves to remove cholesterol from your bloodstream. And also, there's less fat associated with them, less cholesterol associated with them. That's why they're more dense, and they don't seem to clog up the arteries. They seem to move the cholesterol out of the arteries. So that's why it's called good cholesterol. All right, it's all about the direction that the cholesterol is moving, either out into the body or back into the liver to be used for some metabolic reason.